What's this? What's this? There's colour everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack, this isn't fair. What's this? What's this? There's something very wrong. What's this? There's people singing songs. What's this? The streets are lined with little creatures laughing. Everyone seems so happy. Have I possibly gone daffy? What is this? Well, I'll tell you what this is, Jack. This is the Button Mash Christmas podcast.
Oh, very nicely done.
Thank you. Someone high-five me.
Virtual 5. I need to find that GIF that's just a hand on the screen so I can send it to you so that you may high-five it.
Thank you. I would appreciate that. I think that's the earliest I've ever done a segue. I'm proud.
Also got us flagged for content idea with your accuracy of the song.
Was that pretty bang on?
It was pretty good.
Thank you.
So
It was one of those annoying things when I decided to learn the song. I listened to that song and decided, sod it, I'm watching the film.
Right.
Yeah, but I've had a good day.
You've earned it.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
proud of myself.
Yeah, someone on Reddit quoted Robin Hood Men in Tights earlier, so I ended up sitting and watching like half an hour of that as well. I was like, I've got to go watch that scene, and then I just kept watching it. I was like, oh crap, what am I doing with my day?
I'll be watching Muppets Christmas Carol, I think, either tomorrow or Tuesday.
Alright.
I can't wait for that.
At least you're keeping it festive. I was just watching random crap.
Robin Hood's fairly Christmassy. He usually makes an appearance this time of year.
Does he?
Yeah, I think it's always on TV, Robin Hood and Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, but
The
this is
Kevin Costner one.
Yeah, but this is Men in Tights.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same thing.
It's all interconnected.
Alright, I'm not seeing the connection, but go on.
They both
Tights,
feature,
stockings.
they both feature Robin Hood.
Oh, okay. If you're going to grasp at straws, then yeah, okay.
Straw, that's in both.
I'm sure it is what? Yes,
So
there was straw in the manger in the nativity scene, and there was straw in medieval times when Robin Hood was around there. That's a connection.
Yep, see, it's all coming together.
And Half-Life 3 confirmed. And the Illuminati was behind 9/11. And yeah,
Well, that's just accepted fact.
of course. Do you want to actually start the podcast now?
I feel like we haven't wasted enough time.
Well, to be fair, we've not beaten our record. I think our record so far is 7-8 minutes, was it?
We
Of just
talking about-
faffing.
we were
I have
talking
no
about
idea.
Disney films.
Probably Disney films, wasn't it? Yes.
So go on then, who are you?
Hi, we're the Button Mash Podcast. I'm John, aka Meroka, and I'm joined by Michael,
Hello.
who sang our theme tune today, and we're also joined today by Will.
Hello.
And you know what? I don't think I ever introduced myself, do I? For like 18 weeks, everybody's been sat there like, who the hell hosts this thing? I know who the other two...
charismatic gentleman.
Yeah, I know who the other two idiots are, but who's the guy who's hosting it?
Well, you mentioned yourself at the end, so...
Well, you mentioned me, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, I do your job for you.
Right, okay. Well, I'm redundant now. I'll go. You guys carry on without me.
No, don't go.
We're just going to be the soundboard at some point.
I've gone. You don't need me.
And everything fell apart.
Indeed. You
Within
need me.
2 minutes.
You know you need me. Alright. Well, we are the Button Mash Podcast. We talk about video games and video games accessories. We'll be talking about our gaming experiences from the past week, and we'll be looking to upcoming gaming releases in the coming week, as well as a bit of gaming news.
And
It says as my voice breaks.
yeah, I think we need to get this out in the open. John, you're quite sick, aren't you?
I am basically on my deathbed here, yes. I've come down with man flu or something, so I'm on the verge of death. If I keel over, you guys are going to have to carry on without me.
We had to go to John's house and physically force him out of his bed and into onto his computer to record this.
That's about the shape of things, yeah. I'm just sort of tied to the chair here, with a microphone in front of me. And help! Help! Someone send help!
Never.
So, yes, I'm not well. If I burst into coughing and spluttering fits, as is my way, I do apologise for that. I should hopefully be mended for next week, if we're doing something next week. Are we? Oh.
Yeah, I think we can squeeze one in. I don't think there'll be anything going on.
It is that time of year when everything in the world stops. So, but I'm sure we're not doing anything.
Yeah, well, if we don't do anything, we'll post it on Facebook. Our Facebook can be found at.
Oh, you and your segue. You don't even need me for segues this week. You're just a one-man segue machine.
Well, I don't know. I don't actually know where the links are.
Our Facebook
I
can
need
be.
you for that.
Come on, you know the Facebook one by now. Our Facebook can be found at facebook.com/button mash.
Somehow I forgot that.
We got the button mash. We beat that blasted pony to the punch.
Yeah, it's our one and only victory over that bastard.
I'm trying to. Is there anything else? There's very few things where we haven't been beaten out on that, actually. I don't think I even got the Google Plus page, which was really annoying.
Yeah, that was frustrating.
Not that anyone uses Google Plus, but yeah.
Well, that's life.
I did hear some discussion recently about claiming Twitter names that are not used. I don't seem to recall the twitter.com/buttonmash page being particularly used. I need to double check though.
Are we going to do a hostile takeover of the Button Mash Ponies?
Oh no, no, Button Mash works. Unfortunately, yeah, they have tweeted 4,000 times and they have 36 followers, and their tweets are protected. So wow. I presume they're active. It's horrifyingly anime as well.
I think I have more followers than that, and I don't even use Twitter.
I did note.
Well, you have a Twitter.
Oh, don't go there. I haven't used it in like 5 years.
It is linked in the description every time, so people can find you. Yes.
Oh dear.
Sorry,
I sensed a segue. I got excited.
Well, you should post something to it, otherwise someone might just decide that they really want your Twitter handle and they can take it from you because your account is inactive or something. Because I've seen discussion by other people recently. It's like, oh yeah, if it's not available, you can totally get it. It seems like they're cracking down on maybe exploiting it so much, and I don't know. All I know is twitter.com/Meroka has been unused since August 2009 when they posted one tweet, which was one word, browsing, with one favourite, by God knows whom, by a person by the name of Naifa Bosaya. They are following 20 people and have 9 followers, and I'm reasonably confident they probably don't use it. They are still an egg, so yeah.
Not that you're bitter about this or anything.
They got a really good name, and it's my name, and I want it. That's the problem with all the good names on the internet. I'm dying.
Yeah, we gathered.
I'm dying of jealousy at the guy that's got my name. Never mind that I didn't start using that name until like 2011.
You know what we should have done when you go into like a coughing split? You should have just had something set up on like tape where it just goes into. So this is Christmas. Just like a generic Christmas song.
That would be a good way to get us banned from YouTube pretty quickly, actually.
Damn copyright law.
I know, it's a bitch. Well, there's stuff out there that you can use, but it's bland is what it is.
Bland?
Well, Kevin MacLeod you will have heard his stuff because if you're not an active content producer, you probably won't recognize his name, but you will have heard his stuff because most channels on YouTube, I would probably wager, have used his music in something somewhere. A lot of games use his music and stuff because he's just got like 2,000 songs in his library and he just puts them out on the internet for anybody to use for anything as long as you credit him. You don't have to pay him. He doesn't care. It's just his way of getting his name out there, and he's actually now quite famous now because of it. And lots of people go to him and pay him to make music because lots of people know who he is. Because he got really famous by letting a lot of people use his music for nothing, which is quite clever.
Well done, Kevin MacLeod. We're proud of you.
MacLeod, not Cloud. That's Kevin MacLeod.
Oh,
well, Kevin MacLeod, isn't that the guy that does Grand Designs?
He can make music on the side.
don't think it is him, though.
What have you been playing this week, damn it?
Lots of things, possibly. I've still been doing my Advent of Indies stuffs, for which I had to use some Kevin MacLeod music. Segway!
Ooh, so wait. What have you been using that music on?
The game I used that on was The Matter of the Great Red Dragon.
And did you film any of this for maybe a YouTube series?
Nah, I didn't bother with that.
Oh well, never mind. Let's move on.
Yeah, that was part of my Advent of Indies project over at youtube.com/buttonmashempire.
You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
So The Matter of the Great Red Dragon was just a text adventure thing, really. It was by... who was it by? Jonas Kairatses, if memory serves, I believe. He's done I think he does quite a lot of text adventure stuff. Normally he's got a really interesting hand-drawn visual style kind of thing to everything that he makes, but this one was literally just text. It was white text on a black background. And it started out fairly standard swords and sorcery stuff. It was you must go, mighty warrior, and team up with 6 other mighty warriors and team up to slay the red dragon who is coming to lay waste to the lands. And
Isn't that the plot to 13th Warrior?
Maybe? I don't know what that is, so...
An Antonio Banderas film where he's just randomly there with Vikings trying to... Basically Beowulf, but with Antonio Banderas in it.
Alright then, okay. At any rate, it's somewhat subverted from that by the end of it. You spend quite a lot of time training up to be a mighty warrior or archer or mage or whatever you pick to be at the start of the game. And go collect magical artifacts and train and go on adventures and things. And it's all in all, it's not that long, to be honest. It's about 30-40 minutes, to be fair. And by the end of it, you go and fight... do we want to do spoilers?
Go spoilers.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Okay, spoiler
You've been
alert.
warned.
Fair enough. At the end of it, it's basically... I'd like to say slightly politically charged, perhaps, but I'm not sure. I think... I did see another article by someone else later on in the week talking about his works, about how all his stuff is generally politically charged, but without ever siding with anything. He brings up a lot of interesting political topics, but never actually says, hey, this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. It just gives you something to think about. And at the end of it, it was like, it was like, I'm going to fight the dragon. The dragon is the servant to the greatest evil in the world. And then you go talk to the dragon, and it was like, why are you not attacking me, dragon? And it was like, oh, I don't work for the greatest evil anymore. Like, why not? Well, he's a hedge fund manager now. He thinks that's more evil these days. And the rest of the world just kind of accepts this. They're pretty okay with these things now, and nobody really believes in dragons anymore. So I'm kind of out of a job. Hey, do you want to go on an adventure together?
I'm sold.
It's quite cool. I would recommend checking it out, yeah. I mean, I think there's a few different outcomes to that. That's just the path that I took. I think depending on what choices you make, it will end differently, but in a similar fashion, I suspect.
Yeah, sounds fun.
So yeah, I used Kevin MacLeod to that. Yeah, like I say, it was mostly just me reading it, so what I did was get lots of sort of, like... minstrel around the campfire playing a lute kind of music, just reading a story. It was one of the songs was literally called Teller of the Tales. It was like, well, this is perfect. I am the teller of the tales today. Okay, this works for me.
Yeah.
To be entirely fair, I feel like I've been doing that a lot lately. There's a few things that I've just been reading stuffs. One of the Advent of Indies games was Fruity Bird Games Sig Corp, which ties into the... To the Moon and A Bird Story games. I can't remember. Have you played those ones, Will?
No, I haven't.
You probably should.
Oh,
I'd say they'd probably be your kind of thing.
I'll take that under advisement.
So yeah, this was just kind of some extra backstory, kind of to fill in the universe a bit. He put out last year, and he's like, "Oh, I'm doing another one for this year." So it's just kind of making extra games and giving them away for free, which is kind of awesome. It was mostly narrative stuff. There's not much gameplay in there, but hey. It's cute, it's fun. I played Modern Shooter. Oh dear, Modern Shooter.
Not a fan of this one then, no?
This was a text adventure. Again.
Okay.
It was technically a modern shooter, but done in the style of, well, like Zork or something. So it was like, get gun, get ammo, load gun, draw gun, uncover, shoot gun, cover, regenerate. You have to type in all of these commands, and it does it's so slowly, because I'm not even a particularly quick typer. And you've got 10 health, and if the enemy shoots you, you take like 5 damage, so you just have to sit there and type out the word regenerate 5 times to get back up to full health, before you can step out of cover again and shoot them some more, and then duck back into cover. And the second fight in the game, they give you a shotgun for it, but the enemies... It's kind of done in real time as well, because the moment you step out of cover, the enemies just start shooting at you. I kind of figured it would be a turn-based thing, but no, there's... And your health is just going down the moment you step out of cover. And if you don't type cover in and hit enter before you die, it's like, oh well, game over, go back to the last checkpoint. I recognise it's clearly supposed to be a parody of shit like Call of Duty, but fuck that noise. That was the most tedious fucking shit ever. It was really bad.
Oh dear.
Like I say, I recognise that sitting behind a wall, sucking your thumb, waiting till the jam falls off your face is not a particularly fun experience, but still, they managed to make it worse. They actually had the red screen thing, the bloody screen so real thing as well. It's like when you're down on like less than half health, the screen flashes red the entire time as well. It's like, oh, for God's sake. So yeah, that was interesting.
Didn't sound it.
No.
Nah. I played Tube Star actually earlier today. I was going to do the Advent of Indies today's game, because last night the page went up for December whatever we're on today, 21st?
It's 21st.
I've been keeping track of this all month. You'd think I'd know what day it was by now. Yeah.
One would hope so, yes.
I don't, but you'd hope so. So yes, for December 21st, normally these things would go live at 11 PM, for it is a German website. And I would grab the game, play it, make a video, basically try and bash the video out in about an hour. Normally it takes me really to get these done, because they're fairly short videos. Got to the website last night. It's not available yet. Come back later. You what? You what, mate?
Not even a specific time, just later.
Yeah, just later. I think they were putting the finishing touches on it.
The finishing touches, eh?
Yeah, so the developer was Coilworks. Ooh, excuse me. Who are the guys behind Cloudbuilt? I don't know if you ever caught that one earlier in the year.
Nope.
It was a kind of a rather nice looking is that? I don't know if it's first or third person. It's a kind of a free running parkoury kind of thing. It's very pretty. From what I've seen of it, it is horrifyingly unforgiving and brutal. I think it's third person looking at screenshots.
Sounds a bit like Mirror's Edge.
Maybe. Mirror's Edge was a bit more cohesive and had a bit of a story. This is kind of fairly abstract. This is just, here's a bunch of floating ruins in the sky, and you're some weird space age warrior thing with like jetpacks and shit, and you need to run along walls and bounce off things, and it's a lot more abstract than Mirror's Edge.
So it's like sci-fi Prince of Persia.
Maybe? I've not played Prince of Persia, so
I've played all of them.
Okay.
They just got worse after the second game, but that's neither here nor there.
Alright. It's mostly just speedrunning stuff. It's people who like to get around interesting obstacle courses as fast as possible. It is on Steam. It is 80% off in the sale at the minute, because the Christmas sale's on. So it's £3. I was like, it does look gorgeous, and I keep looking at it, I'm like, it's really pretty. I would be frustrated as hell within like 2 levels and rage quit. I don't think I want to spend £3 on rage quitting. So the game they actually put out was Array, which was I guess a prototype for a game they're currently working on. It comes with a text file in the folder that they give you, which has disclaimer. This is a prototype, very early demo, and it may not work. It may totally crash. It may not be optimized well. The last one is true. It is not optimized well.
Ooh.
It starts when you launch the. It runs an Unreal Engine. Whether that's any metric to judge anything by, I don't know. It starts running when you launch the game. It runs at a smooth 60 frames per second. It's like, okay, this is great. Within 3 minutes of playing the game, the frame rate has tanked steadily over the course of that to about 10 frames per second. My first thought was, oh, is this because I'm recording it? But I tried it without, and it's still really bad. And well, hey, if I can't record it, it's not much use to me in my advent of indies anyway, is it? So that's kind of the whole reason I'm here. And I played back the footage from Bandicam as well. I dug the raw video file out, and it looked even worse. It was just like 1 frame every 3 seconds was actually what had actually been saved to video. I was like, I can't use this. It's a slideshow. It's not video game footage.
Oh, creative people.
It is a top-down shooter thing, but I really can't tell you much more than that. It seemed like it had some interesting mechanics, but the game invariably got unplayable before I could even really get to grips with the mechanics, so I really don't have a clue much more than that. Yeah. The game I replaced it with was a basically YouTube simulator called TubeStar. I thought that sounded quite funny. I thought this was going to be, this is going to be a scathing parody of YouTube. It's going to be quite amusing, especially as a YouTube content creator myself, and the person who knows a lot of content creators. This is going to be quite the enjoyable romp, I feel.
So it was just going to be you going out laughing at yourself, going, "Oh yes, I totally do that."
I did critique it in some places as to its accuracy on things, but honestly, it's a really bland management sim. It starts you out each day. It says, here is your schedule until like 5 p.m. you are working, and then from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. you've got 6-hour-long slots. What would you like to do in each of these hours? You can choose to record a video, edit a video, or learn better skills.
Not, do you want to go outside and live your life?
Well, no. That's not the life of a YouTube content creator. Good lord. Have you ever met any of us?
Apparently not, no.
No. So, for whatever reason, apparently, even if you're making gaming content, you can only record in a minimum of 2-hour blocks, and then it takes 4 hours to edit that video together. I sat there thinking, no, it doesn't. If I want to make a 5-minute video, it'll take me 5 minutes to make that video, and it'll probably take me about 5 minutes to edit and render it as well when I'm done. It's really not that big a deal. I mean, I guess when you're first starting out, it probably takes a lot longer, but once you've got into the rhythm of things and you've got shortcuts and templates and stuff, yeah, making the video is not a terribly complex procedure. It doesn't really need to take 4 hours to edit your first video gaming video of Minecraft together. No, sorry. I gotta say, when you're first starting out, most people use Windows Movie Maker. It doesn't take you 4 hours to make it in Windows Movie Maker. And then there's like a... Go on.
They're not a fan of the TubeStar then, no.
It just didn't seem to have any... It was missing the satire that I expected it to have. Like I say, it seemed like it was going to be this cutting satire. I was like, it's going to be rather enjoyable. It wasn't. It was just a really boring simulator. It was like, once you made the video, you can put it on YouTube, and then the numbers go up, and then you can make another video, and hopefully those numbers will go up. And you can run adverts on your videos to make money, and you can use that money to buy, apparently, lessons in making videos. I don't know many YouTubers that have ever done that. Honestly, no. So you can, yeah, I guess there's like statistics somewhere, because it keeps talking about statistics. It's like, oh, this will improve your stats. This will improve your stats. I couldn't find a stats page. If I have stats, I don't know where they are in there. And I guess one of the bits of it is like, what thumbnail would you like to use for your video? And you pick through a bunch of them, and I guess it actually does pull them straight from YouTube. And I don't know if they're drawn from like related tags to your whatever you've named your video. For example, the first video I made in that was called First Video, and then I clicked through a bunch of random thumbnails, got some picture of a woman with the camera pointed slightly below her face, because obviously I want views on YouTube. That's how you do it, right? And when it actually shows you that video, it actually opens up opens up a little sort of pop-up window inside the game that has a YouTube player in it, and it's like, oh, hashtag first video or something, hashtag TMI or stuff. It's like, oh, this is actually someone's real video. This is now slightly creepy, I kind of feel. What I would feel would be slightly surreal is if you happen to somehow miraculously find your own video in there.
Yeah, that would be quite impressive.
It did apparently claim, or at least there's a checkbox when you first start playing the game, it says, oh, use only Creative Commons content. And I was like, yeah, okay, if you're going to start pulling copyright content from YouTube, I might want to check this box. I didn't realize you were going to do that. So I guess these are people who put their stuff on YouTube under a Creative Commons license, and fair play to them. Whatever. Oh dear.
Come on, stay alive, man. Stay alive.
Just an hour and a half or so, and then I can die in peace. You've got to edit this thing, though.
Well, it might not go out in the usual format then, in that case.
It might not go out in any format.
It might be completely unedited.
Are you okay with the JPEG format? That's all I've managed to achieve.
Just, I've edited it really wrongly, so it's like, this.
Shall we move on before you train wreck that one anymore?
No, it's train wrecked already. That's how my editing job will go.
Yay!
Bringing it back.
I did play a little bit of a game I looked at back on International Talk Like a Pirate Day called Salt.
Ooh.
Which is a survival game, but not really very survival. In most survival games, it's like, here, you're in the wilderness, everything wants to kill you. Have fun!
Sounds simple enough.
In this one, it's, here, you're in the wilderness, you've got a hunger meter and it goes down really slowly. Have fun! So, it's basically messing about in boats. I think we talked about this back when I did that before, back in September, to be honest, because we've been doing that this long now, apparently. So, I don't know that the game's come along greatly since then. They just sent me a review copy this week. They're just like, hey, we've got this game, it's on early access, do you want to take a look at it? And I was like, oh, well, I played your demo before, sure, I'll take a look. I think they're still at the adding features stage, but it doesn't feel like they've added a lot of features for the last 3 months' worth of work, if I'm honest. They have added bamboo as a crafting material. That's about all I could find. So, if bamboo is all they've got to show for it, they might want to pick up the pace a bit on the development.
Might be an idea.
So, yeah, it's much the same. It's a cute idea. It still looks really goddamn awful in some places and really magnificent in others. They've got a phenomenal lighting engine on it. It looks amazing. The shadows cast by the trees and everything look fantastic. But then the shadows that are cast by the trees are cast onto... I don't know what the term is for it. You know how a lot of games sort of cheat sort of three-dimensional stuff by having like a 2D object, but it rotates to face the player as you walk around?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that. I don't know what that technique's called. I'm sure that has a name. But it's been around for many years. It has been around since first-person shooters were 2D.
Called being half-arsed.
Yeah, yeah. It's called We Couldn't Be Bothered to Model a Bush. Because that's how they do their bushes. You've got the trees casting these... The trees are okay. The trees cast the shadows. They're on the fantastic lighting onto these 2D planes that are rotating as you face. As you walk around. They rotate to face the player as you sort of walk around. And it looks awful. It's like you've got this magnificent engine, and because of the world you've chosen to build here, it looks disastrous. You need to get some 3D models in here really quickly.
So is this like a randomly generated open world?
I think it is, yes. I don't know if the world I'm in is necessarily, because I've just picked up off the demo, and I think the demo always had the same seed in the same world, so I guess I'm in sort of a predetermined thing, but I think that if you buy the game, you do get a random seed and random generation, yeah. Much like any other game in the genre. Yeah, you just get a big infinite ocean with lots of islands dotted around in it, and you may craft boats and sail between them. And you seem to have some magical ability to summon the boats to you at will. Which means there's no penalty whatsoever to getting stuck on an island and losing your boat. Which I can't help but feel like surely that should be an option. If you're going to be out and scavenging in the wilderness, surely the ability to go, snap your fingers and boat's there. It kind of defeats the survival thing.
It does spoil the illusion of being stranded, I guess.
Yeah.
You make the first raft really quickly, and I think I got lucky with one of my playthroughs because I just had loads of hardwood, which is a fairly rare material that you need to make the second tier boat. Normally you have to play for quite a while to get that kind of material, and for some reason I just had quite a lot of it. So I was just like, okay, well, we're going to have a sailing boat now. So it's got an actual wheel on it, and you can spin the wheel, which is quite satisfying. And you can sail around much faster. That's all I've got, though. I mean, as I said, I'm sure I mentioned before, my hopes, my dreams, my ultimate desires for this game would be to be able to craft huge vessels of war, massive naval galleons and stuff with cannons and shit on the side just to be able to blow other pirates out the water. I'm not sure that's the route they want to take it down. They still seem to be more focused on scrabbling around in the dirt, fighting pirates on the land, and messing around in boats. It's like, if we're talking pirates, half the fun of being the pirate is sailing the ship. And you're like, hey, look, we've got a game that's got ships in it. Yes, but they're little one-man dinghies. They're nice, but come on, we want the galleons. Give me the galleons. I asked the developer about it on Reddit because he posted a Reddit thread saying, hey, here's a game a while back. And I was like, ooh, this looks interesting. Are you planning to add galleons? And he was kind of a bit cagey and evasive, which kind of suggests no, I think. He was like, oh, our creative direction is this. It's like, you didn't say yes or no to my question, which was, am I going to get a big fuck-off ship to blow motherfuckers out the water? That's what I want. That's all I ever wanted in life.
That's all anyone ever wanted in life.
I think it is. So, yeah, Salt. Still not terribly hopeful. I can't necessarily recommend anyone buy it. So, with early access stuff, it's like, buy it if it's worth playing now. Don't buy it on any expectations. It's like, I'm optimistic, and I'm okay with it being in my Steam library now, so I can keep an eye on it and its progression, but based on the content that's in it right now, I would not have gone out of my way to buy that. When they had the galleons, I'd buy it. But not till. Unfortunately. Played Yeti Hunter, which is a weird fucking thing, by Vlambeer. He says as he dies,
Stay alive, stay alive.
no, you can't make me. Yeti Hunter by Vlambeer. Vlambeer are the guys who have done... You guys must have played some of their stuff, I'm sure. Luftrausers, Ridiculous Fishing, Nuclear Throne.
Ridiculous Fishing, yeah.
Yeah, that's them. Nuclear Throne, Super Crate Box. They made a lot of kind of quirky, interesting things, all kind of cool and fairly innovative stuff. And yeah, they made Yeti Hunter, which is this first-person shooter, I guess. You just walk around a landscape that seems to be little more than black and white. It's just like, well, I think in the morning it's like blue sky on up with white snow and white background, but and then the Yetis are white on a white snowy background, and then there's white snow falling in the foreground. You can't see much beyond the white, I'll be honest. I managed to climb a tree by accident at one point and couldn't get down, and I thought I'd broken it. Turns out I hadn't, I was just stupid, but okay. You can go around, eventually you'll find some Yetis, and you may snipe them dead with one shot with your overpowered sniper rifle. The Yetis don't seem to be too phased by this, they just sort of they don't even keel over, they just vanish. The gun has ridiculous recoil on it, and by the time you get a chance to look at where the Yeti was standing, there is now no longer any Yeti or even any body to speak of, so yeah, they just pretty much evaporate. And after about 8 minutes or so of playing, I don't know what triggered it. I don't know if it was like reaching a preset kill limit or something, much like a kill bot or something. Yeah, the game just plays some eerie music and has a really startling transition to a world of black and darkness, and you're staggering through the gloom. All the Yetis disappear. There are no Yetis to be found. There is nothing of any kind to be found. I don't know where the game goes from there. I was staggering around for a bit, and then after a bit I kind of got bored of staggering around, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop this here. I'm going to get bored of this and stop playing now. I feel if something's going to happen, it should probably have happened by now. I don't know if they're like really, really building suspense or something. But if they were, they took a little bit too long over it.
The suspense limit has been reached.
Yes, suspense overflow. So all suspense was lost, and I was like, okay, well, see you later. Which is kind of strange. I sort of, from something from Vlambeer, I kind of expected something better. They, like I say, they generally put out really cool stuff. So that for them to put out this game with like almost no mechanics and then a really vague and weird quote-unquote end, I don't know what the hell that was. Very strange.
Sounds it.
Amongst the other, because obviously I played loads of stuff in the Advent of Indies, Christmas Shotgun Defense, which was by Sososowski, and this is one I was talking to you about the other night, Michael.
Remind me.
It's a pixel art game about Karl Marx and Joseph Stalin as a gay couple who have a baby, because that's the miracle in the nativity scene that those two are in for whatever reason.
Yep.
Because why not?
Hey.
It's a gay couple having a baby is suddenly a miracle.
Hey, I always believed in Stalin and Karl Marx's relationship. I'm glad those kids have made it work.
And then, yeah, you get approached by sheep, and Karl Marx starts screaming about motherfuckers, kill the motherfuckers, and you have to shoot the motherfuckers with a pistol. When you kill said motherfuckers, you have a little bit of money, and you can buy some better guns and get an upgrade, get a shotgun which kills more things. After that, other things start visiting you. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be, other farmyard animal-y type things. I'm not sure if it's a dog, it looks kind of lion-y, but either way, other animals approach, you must shoot them. Eventually, there's some people arrive. Joseph Stalin is, for whatever reason, the voice of reason in all of this. He's like... yeah.
Because that's Stalin.
Yeah, Karl Marx is like, shit, social worker motherfuckers, shoot the social worker motherfuckers. And Stalin's just like, I think they're the three wise men. And it turns out they're women, but whatever, and you have to shoot them and get some money from them as well. And then eventually the military show up, and eventually, about the point where I let it end was when Star Wars shows up. At which point it started getting just a little bit silly.
Yeah, because that was the point where I was like, nope, this is gone too far.
This is too far. Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It's basically just a really linear tower defense. It wasn't balanced terribly well, but it was made in 24 hours, so... Yeah, I mean, given a few more hours to actually, tweak things, I would have said you probably want to work on how much various guns are worth, or how much ammo you're getting, compared to how much you're able to use them, because stuff like there's crazy laser guns and rocket launchers and stuff that just wipe out everything, and relative to how many shots you get for the money, you just get way too many, and you can just go crazy with super weapons and wipe everything out, and it really doesn't cost you much. And then you could just restock at the end of the round. It's like, well, this is just crazy easy because I'm just going ray gun mad and destroying things. But as I say, yeah, it's just a little 24-hour game jam project thing, so yeah, it was cute. In a strange and bizarre and hideous kind of way.
The best kind of cute.
Mm-hmm. That's probably mostly me for the week. That's all my crazy nonsense, I think. How about you guys?
I've not had much time to play this game, but I did have a good session earlier on in the week on Spiral Knights.
Oh, of course, Spiral Knights. I forgot that one.
Yeah. I've got my Gilded Griffin and the Grim Repeater.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with those ones. I've stopped making the Permafrost, though, because I realised it's Shadow, not Elemental.
Is it? Oh, I hadn't realised that.
No, I thought it would be Elemental, considering the rest of the Polaris line is...
Yeah, it would have made sense. I mean, up till now, for the most of the year, I've mostly compared it to the... what do you call them? The brandish lines in the swords. I basically always just said that it's the gun equivalent of the brandish, but okay.
But, isn't the Winter Grave also Shadow?
It is, yes.
Why have they bothered doing that? They've added 3 3 shadow guns to the game, and 2 of them are frost. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Don't know. What are the ones that... Oh, hang on. You got 3 shadow guns, 2 are frost. Yeah, that's kind of strange. I don't know. Maybe just because otherwise there'd have been too much other stuff, maybe?
I don't know. I feel like they could have gone with either shock or fire, just to give it a bit of difference between the guns.
Yeah, certainly.
Because I think your permafrost is like 3 shots, and the further it travels, the more damage you're doing. And the Wintergrave is 2 shots, but they're really powerful.
I have a video up on my channel which went up on Friday, which was me doing a weapons test of the Wintergrave. If you've not used the Magnus or whatever the ultimate versions of those are, I forget. Callahan, is it?
I have a Callahan, yeah.
I was going to say, if you've got the Callahan, I suspect you're reasonably familiar with kind of how it works, because I think it's just very similar. But yeah, the 2 shots you'd expect them to be more powerful than they are. They're not amazing. It's the charge shot that does all the damage.
Right.
Because the charge shot knocks back the enemy and can hit the enemy multiple times as it knocks it back. So it kind of hits the enemy, knocks it back a bit, and then hits it again, and knocks it back a bit again, and then hits it again. And it can just go crazy. You can just shred an enemy really quickly.
It's still not as effective as the Blitz Needle.
Probably not, no.
Which just destroys everything. And with the Grim Repeater as well, you don't really need any other guns.
This is unfortunately kind of true.
Yeah.
However, there's still not an elemental variant on the auto gun.
No, they really should change that. In
spite of the fact that the volcanic pepper box really needs to be.
It should be.
I've never understood why that one's normal. It just doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what they're balancing that against.
And I suspect if you made a major change like that, it might upset people, because we're talking about one of the a gun that people have spent a lot of resources to actually get, potentially a long time ago, and then for 3 Rings to turn around and say, okay, this gun's now entirely different, and you've got an entirely different functionality.
That's what they did with some of the bombs. They turned some of the shards into completely different dynamics.
They changed how they worked, mechanically speaking, but at the same time, they didn't change the damage they dealt. It's not like a shadow bomb became an elemental bomb or anything.
No.
So people who are like, oh, well, I need a shadow bomb so that I can take out jellies or whatever. If 3 Rings had turned around and said, okay, now it's an elemental bomb, I was like, well, now I've got nothing to kill jellies with.
I guess.
That would have been really annoying. But at the same time...
But the gun's a normal damage weapon, isn't serve a lot of purpose.
I know. I'm just trying to rationalise it.
Yeah,
devil's advocate, really.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
No, I suspect, I mean, like we mentioned before, it's kind of very frequently referred to as kind of a joke weapon. So I don't think too many people will be terribly distraught to see it's changed. I don't think many people carry it in any seriousness. I think most people, if they own one, probably made it as a joke so they can go, lol, look at my volcanic pepper box.
I'm sure it's useful in some circumstances.
Potentially, yes. So yeah, I need to work on I'm still working on the wildfire because I still think that seems like fun.
Yeah, I can see that being quite fun.
The Wintergrave, obviously, I now need to do the fun bit of heating that up through the 5-star stuff.
Yeah, well, what I've been doing is I've been going down into the arcade and putting all my resources from going right down to the core into buying more energy and going through the supply depot to buy radiant crystals.
That's an interesting way of doing that, I suppose.
So I'm getting maybe 21 radiant crystals from a full tier 3 run.
Yeah.
And then I'm using that the crowns earned from that to buy energy, which it doesn't always work out. I have to do quite a few runs to be able to.
I was going to say, how many crowns are you talking about getting from one run on that?
Enough to buy 100 energy, I think.
Right.
So you have to do quite a few.
Can't help but feel your efforts may be better spent in Vanaduke, in just a time for reward kind of thing. I know everyone's done it to death, but still.
Yeah, unfortunately there aren't a lot of parties at the moment that are doing Vanaduke.
Really? I never seem to have too much trouble finding that. If I want to do Vanaduke, everybody
really
does Vanaduke
struggle
all the time. Alright. So you can usually get a good 8,000 crowns out of one Vanajuk run in, if you got a decent group, 40-45 minutes.
I think it takes less time than that to do an arcade run, and I think I've gotten 9,000 crowns out of the last run.
Oh, fair enough. I think with arcades, aren't you sort of fairly heavily dependent on arenas mostly? If you can get a bunch of Stratum 6 arenas, you're golden. You'll get loads of money out of that.
Yeah.
But it can be a bit hit and miss. Graveyards, I think, are also supposed to be pretty good for money, just because you're killing so many zombies.
Yeah. Unless you're just running through them.
Well, if you're playing it for the money, why would you skip all the enemies?
I don't, but I've seen other people try it.
I say, if I'm running down to like Basil just because I want the recipes, yeah, I'll skip as much as I can possibly do. But if I'm genuinely trying to get every single crown I can possibly get, then generally I'll probably kill everything I can get my hands on in a graveyard.
Yeah, there are some, most levels I'll grind it to death, but there are a few. I can't remember what the new ones are called with like all the dust bunnies and whatnot. What are they called?
What now?
The levels that have all the really annoying little enemies in them.
Oh, the compounds. Sorry,
The compounds. Yeah. I'd run through those because I can't be bothered with that shit.
Oh yeah, compounds are nasty. Depends. It depends what I'm fighting. I mean, I'll usually most of it's not too bad. It's usually the last room in a compound's usually pretty bad, so I'll tend to skip that.
It's horrific.
Sometimes there's like one that's not bad. One's just like an arena room, and it's just like a few waves of things, and you can just kite things around the room and just hit it repeatedly. And it's like, okay, that's not too bad. Then the ones that have you running back and forth, collecting keys and hitting switches and shit, yeah, they're nasty.
It's brutal. I don't know how you can not die doing that.
By being really, really evasive or being pretty thorough about clearing stuff out, I think. It depends. I mean, I'm trying to think which ones I have least trouble with. I think jellies are probably not too bad. Jellies don't tend to dodge you too much. They just sort of glop towards you in a straight line, so you can just take out most of it with a good shot from an Acheron or whatever.
I don't know. I've tried out the Winterfest Prestige mission that's got those in. The Grinchlin mission?
Oh, the Grinchlin Assault.
Yeah,
Lord,
that's pretty tough.
Yeah, I did a video on that last year, and to date it is one of the most viewed videos I've ever made.
Wow. How far did you get?
I can't remember. I can't remember now. I think I'm just one of the top results for people looking for Grinchlin Assault. What just astounds me is that people keep finding it throughout the year. It's like, yeah... It's kind of, why are you looking for this Christmas-specific mission in June? And I still get hundreds of views on this every month. It's crazy. I mean, I imagine it shot up again, what with it being out. It is my second most viewed video ever.
Wow.
7,000 views, which says a lot about me, I think.
Going out of curiosity, what's the first?
The first ever Shroud of the Apocrypha video I did, which is at 10,500 views.
Hey,
you.
well done.
Thank you. That did sound almost slightly like a sarcastic slow clap, but I'll accept it nonetheless.
Oh no, I don't know what you mean, sir.
It's okay, he wasn't talking about his patronage page.
Whoa!
Ooh, low blow.
Oh, I love it.
In another boring analytics thing, my fourth most viewed video is a stupid fucking game that I kind of half-heartedly reviewed a really long time ago that keeps coming up on sale for next to nothing in so many places, and every time it goes on sale I think I'm like the only review on YouTube for it. That's like my fourth most viewed video now, because people keep like, oh, Space Trader Merchant Marine review, and my shitty crappy thing that I kind of had a series that I made like about 5 videos in when I was I called them backlog reviews because I was just basically reviewing titles that I had sat in my Steam library from shitty bundles I'd bought ages ago. And in retrospect, I kind of consider it learning to review. For me, it was just kind of practicing a review technique. And for whatever reason, that thing's blown up and is my fourth most viewed video. It's like, I've got lots of really high quality reviews by comparison, not to blow my own horn or anything, but... things that I would consider to be much higher quality that just don't get the reviews, and it's like that shitty ancient better part of 2 years old video is still going strong. God damn it.
Oh, there you go.
Well, there you go indeed.
Cool. Well, I guess I've also been playing I Am Bread.
Oh dear, you haven't, have
I
you?
have.
Why would you do that?
It's hilariously frustrating.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not even like rage quit material. It's just so fucking hilarious. You're just this limp piece of bread that has sticky corners.
I mean, I've seen more than a few videos on it because it's obviously prime YouTube bait, but at the same time, as far as I'd understood it, the general consensus seemed to be that that was all it was good for. It's great for laughing at people who are really frustrated at it. You can go, ha, look at that guy, he's so frustrated about trying to control this really awkward bit of bread, trying to walk the bread around the kitchen. Oh, look at that guy. But it doesn't look like it's fun to play. It just looks, it's like I say, it's fantastic to watch people be angry at it, but you wouldn't want to play it yourself because you would be angry yourself.
I don't find it annoying in any sense. I find it hilarious how you interact with the scene and how being on the floor is considered bad for you as wanting to be toast, and where you toast yourself in the room is just. I think it's a brilliant game.
Fair enough. I can't say I particularly think I'll be investing in that myself. I mean, the thing is, it's one of those things that everybody, you can see, to look at it on YouTube, you think it's ridiculously huge, and that's what everyone's into these days, but I think when you look at the statistics on Steam, it's only like a few hundred players tops. And it's like I say, it's just YouTube. Nobody actually wants this crap.
No, it's not the kind of game that I'd usually want to play, but I think I needed a little bit of break from serious gaming.
Fair enough.
This Spiral Knights is so serious.
Yeah, obviously.
Gotta grind that heat.
Grinding is serious business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued. What the hell are they doing with it as an early access game? Because at this point, great, they put it out there, YouTube's jumped on it, everyone's blown their load. Now what?
I'm hoping they'll add more mechanics to the game, because right now it's just about being toasted, and less about how tasty you are, I think.
Right. Does that not come into it, from what I've seen of it? Well, I've seen the first level a lot, because that's about as far as most people get before they rage quit, which is, I know on the starting table there's like a jar of jam, and for whatever reason your bread lying limply against the side of this glass jar is sufficient force to make the entire thing shatter. And then you can drag your slice of bread through the broken glass and jam, and get jam onto your bread, but apparently not broken glass, which makes it good for being toast and tasty. Everybody really loves that broken glass in their toast. It's just what I need first thing in the morning.
Well, this is so delicious.
Yep.
That's
how I start my day.
How do you like your toast in the morning? Like mine with some glass.
Right.
That fit a little bit too well, I think.
Yeah, it did actually.
Is there anything else in that level you can actually use? Because I've seen people go past stuff that it's like, you might be able to use that, but I don't know what there is.
Possibly. I'd like to see more dynamics. I'd like to see maybe condiments add properties to your bread, like stickiness.
Yeah.
Right. So I know there's like slices of ham in the kitchen that's just surrounded by ants, and anytime anyone goes near it, they just like insta-fail the level because no one wants ants on their bread.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes you inedible, so...
Like the nutritional value that ants can provide.
And probably tastier than glass.
You'd hope so.
Depends.
It's also really abstract and stupid in the way which things you can go on. It's like, you can go on top of the cupboards along the ceiling. It's like, I would not want to eat any bread that had been on top of my cupboards in my kitchen. I can tell you that. That would be nasty.
I think in the second level you have to toast yourself on an electric fire. You have to be able to get across a carpet.
Yeah, I believe I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah, and then the third level is toasting yourself on an iron, and I've not managed to get to the iron on the other side of the bedroom yet.
Are there not a couple of options? I mean, I've never seen people go for anything particularly creative, but I know in the first level there is like there is a cooker, and I thought there was a way to like turn the cooker on, and then you could like slide yourself onto a ring, I guess, and just toast yourself that way.
I wasn't that creative.
Possibly...
I went straight for the toaster.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because the toaster's there and you are supposed to be making toast, the initial reaction of every single player is like, oh, that's where I'm going then.
Yeah.
Never mind that you have to go across the cooker to get to the toaster.
Oh, I went straight over the floor, up the counter, over the floor again, and up the other counter. So
Okay.
it was just right in front of me.
How did you get across the floor the second time?
It-
The first time they give you a skateboard to facilitate that.
I just,
Or did you-
I ran across it.
Oh, you
As
dragged
far as-
you
as
dragged
far
your
as Brett
filthy
could run.
you dragged your filthy bready feet across the floor.
Yeah, I passed that level. I was edible. I was totally edible.
Yes. Well, maybe by some.
It was an F edible, but you know.
An edible, right? That's all that counts. As long as someone out there has standards to eat this, it's good enough.
Hey, you never know, you might be tired and just think, yeah, that'll do.
Okay,
That's
sure.
That's the spirit.
I did watch a chunk of Dodger doing a live stream of it, and I know she just. I don't think she rage quit. She just eventually just resigned herself to her fate in the cat litter box. She just lay down in the litter tray and just like, that's it, I'm done.
I think this game has some mileage, and I'm definitely going to play it again when it's full release.
I think if you had a YouTube channel, it would be worth doing, but
I
I
don't.
don't know why you're playing it. I don't know why you would subject yourself to it, but okay.
He likes
I'm a total
bread, damn it.
masochist. Total masochist.
Is that like Total Biscuit?
Yeah.
But
Total
someone who only plays someone who only plays rage games. Well, you can upload stuff to my YouTube channel if you want. It is the Button Mash YouTube channel.
I don't think I could sully your channel.
You've never watched
With
any
my
of his
filth.
videos, have you?
Well, this is why I made a separate channel for the podcast, just to keep you filth out.
So far, it's worked.
It's a really bad Berlin Wall kind of thing.
Actually, no. To be fair, you've been on my channel. You did screen cheat with me.
Oh yeah, we leaked in. We burrowed under the wall.
Yeah. Never again, I said. Never again shall I work with those two.
I'm going to get a David Hasselhoff to release a song. He's going to sing and he's going to make you open that wall up and we'll be on your YouTube channel in no time.
I was wondering where you're going with that. I was like, oh, right. Are you back to the Berlin Wall thing? Right, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
I've stunned you into silence, so
You have, yeah.
I'm proud of myself.
Michael, what have you played?
This week I've started to play Uncharted again. I started this about 3 months ago, so I've jumped back on.
All right.
So, yeah, I think I'm doing like a flashback level of it because it's Uncharted 3, so I seem to have gone back to when the protagonist, Nathan Drake's like, he's now a teenager and he seems to be robbing his mentor, which is an interesting twist that I'm intrigued to see how that works out.
Oh, so they're doing a Lara Croft with it.
Well, essentially, he is the Lara Croft of the Uncharted series. Basically.
Yes, that's kind of that was what I was getting at. Yes,
Yeah,
they're very very similar kind of genres. Yes.
yeah. But I actually prefer Uncharted to Tomb Raider, if I'm being brutally honest. I think the games flow a bit better.
All right, fair enough.
I'm about to be lynched for that by the internet, I'm sorry.
I don't know. Uncharted's a fairly popular franchise. I mean, they managed to get. Is it 3 they're up to now? How many have they made? I don't. It's not one I keep track of. So how many? They made a few of them. They made at least 3.
They've made 3. There's going to be one for the next gen. I'm not quite sure when that's out. I think it's
Go on.
next year.
So yes, there is definitely a demand for it. So I don't think anyone's going to lynch you for liking a popular game.
People are mean, though.
It's people like me that get lynched when I say, oh yes, something like The Matter of the Great Red Dragon, that fantastic text adventure is Game of the Year or something.
Well, get the pitchfork.
I'm glad I've got you two here because you usually just have no idea what I'm talking about, so I can just you can't react badly when I talk about games that are like, oh, this is one of the best games ever, and it's what 99% of the general gaming public would consider to be not a game. I'm the sort of person who should be getting lynched on a regular basis.
But you always survive.
Somehow. Well, I may not make it to the end of the podcast, so people will have their way.
Well, shall we give you a commercial break so you can go get some Lensip?
Well, I don't know if I need that, but yes, seems like a good idea.
Right.
Oh,
In that case,
are you? Am I ending this or are you ending this?
I don't know. This is. Do you want to do rock paper scissors for it?
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2,
Two,
1.
What have you played?
Yeah.
So I can play the winning one.
Spock.
Ah, damn it.
I don't even know how that one works. I know there is a way that one works, but I don't even know how it works.
There's a rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lizard, poison, Spock. But paper disproves Spock or something like that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
We'll be back after this word from our sponsors. What a Mash podcast is back. The Christmas edition. I'll add it in. It's a tenuous link, but we'll take it. Yeah.
DLC.
Do I need to make a jingle for this?
It's only available for those who bought the season pass.
No, a Butter Mash exclusive. Alright. Ooh. That's yeah. Unless I'm editing it, then none of it's going in. Oh, and then what's the DLC that you wish to bestow upon me? Yeah. Ah, yes, you were playing this on Friday.
Hmm. No.
Nope.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Does it translate well onto desktop? Hmm. Hmm. Cool. So I presume you'd have other adventures along that route instead. Potentially very interesting. So
Slightly.
you think you might not make it this time? Brilliant. That's how you know where you are chronologically. It's pretty impressive. This is Obra Dinn that we talked about last. Yeah, that you talked about last week. I found this fantastic. I love the way that you were talking about it last week. The concept of looking how people died and solving the mystery. And I went and downloaded it, and initially it made me very nauseous. Just looking at this filtered kind of black and white pixel. What did we come to the conclusion on last week that filter? Right. I'd never come across anything like that before. It did really make me feel sick for the first few minutes. Yeah, I would love to see this full game solving mysteries and seeing how people were murdered, or I suppose potentially you could go quite a few ways with the people dying on this ship. Oh, definitely. I think the style makes it interesting. I don't think it needs any more interesting, but I think it adds that extra element to it. No, no. I can't like, even though it did make me feel, I got used to it, and I appreciated the style. I think it needed something just to set it out a little bit more. I'm not saying it necessarily has to do that for the full game to keep it interesting, but it definitely made it stand out. It took me a while to find the box that's got the watch in it. I didn't even see that on the side of the boat for a couple minutes. No, no, not at all. No,
You missed that then. You,
I did. No, that may, yeah, that may have been what confused me. No, thoroughly enjoyed that. I love to see more of it.
I'm glad.
Oberdin sounds nicer, I think. Okay.
That was a very nice little Christmas present you gave us with that DLC, I think. All I want for Christmas is extra butter mash download content.
We're too cheap to buy you anything.
uh, it's the thought.
You don't need another pair of socks. You've
Oh,
got too many. You've got an unreasonable amount of socks. Yeah.
those are awesome. I think we're going to have to go into the next segment then. Now, gaming news and gossip.
Yeah, we do have gossip, I've noticed.
Ooh, it's so scandalous. Oh no. Yeah. 4chan went a bit crazy. Pulled within a day. Pulled within a day.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
No.
Yeah, well, um, I don't know. But have they, in any of the quotes, made a particular reasoning of moral outrage or anything on that notion? Okay. Mm. Which is bizarre.
Well, I think if anything, they've gotten more publicity for the game out of this. Exactly. I'm not. I've been looking at like footage of the game and stuff, and I'm not particularly outraged by it. I understand the concept
Divisive.
Im- is immoral, definitely, to say the least. But it's all in context. If this were, say, a zombie killing game, nobody would bat an eyelid.
That's true. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Yay, democracy. Yeah. Yay, democracy was the gist of that. Yeah, it just sounds like a massive screw up more than anything else, really, doesn't it? Oh no, they'll probably do better than they initially would have done out of this. One would suspect. What? You a fool. So it's dividing certain people, then yes. Well, I guess we'll keep our eye on this story if it develops anymore. Well, we already have. Oh, a polygon! I've never heard of it. What is it? Whoa! You think people? I'm sure. I'm sure it's less popular than hatred, I imagine. Yeah. You think people got that I was being sarcastic there? Well, that's a dream. I think that one's out. Oh, was it Game of Thrones?
Oh yes.
I'm not quite sure that will work.
Because it doesn't have any dialogue in it.
Do you think maybe they'll contact a YouTuber maybe to provide dialogue? I was thinking you. So yeah, that it would make sense to use him on the game. Yeah, it's a wild theory from a drunk from an imbecile like me. It was a Disney song at some point. I was thinking about Jungle Book. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I want to be an imbecile like you. Ooh, ooh. Cheery. Hakuna Matata. Yeah. I'm never going to revisit the Safari Lands again. Uh, I'm still writing the screenplay, sorry. Intriguing at the best. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
Notch, yeah. Oh, yeah, the house.
Oh yes.
Good for Notch. Yeah, you're getting in the spirit. Yeah, he's living off that Microsoft money now. Yeah. Hey Notch, we talked about your game. You owe us.
Should just dig cubes out of his garden and build a shelter.
Just like my £100 million garden. Why? We're never going to Notch's house now, are we? Damn. It was more bootylicious than Beyonce. Who wouldn't think it's a compliment? That would be rather unfortunate if that's the case. Well. Oh well, that's probably for the best. I would have robbed his minibar anyway. Oh yeah. Maybe that's his plan. He's going to open Woolworths in his house. That can't go wrong. One day he'll sell Woolworths to Microsoft too. Not just house. What colour scheme has he gone for? Not a house. Right. Okay, we can move on. I can sleep good at night now. Thank you. Alright, so shall we do some game releases? And now, game releases for the week! This might be quick. Just in case it confused you. And the fact that the cover art made it look slightly pixely. No. Hmm. I think it's just the networks, isn't it? Sony, basically. You can download Notch's house. Well, I was about to say, you know which character got screwed over
Yeah.
there. A good life lesson for you kids. Yeah. 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 The old runners too. I think this one's just out on the PSN network again.
Yeah.
Nope, nope. Because it's like William Shakespeare, get it? I don't know. There's a lot of PlayStation Network stuff going on. You've missed the boat. I think this is just coming out on the PS4, isn't it? So this is just the PS4. Hmm. Yeah. Do you have a PS4? Yep. And a Christmas Eve release. A Christmas Eve release, this one.
Doesn't.
No, PlayStation 2 was lacking quite a lot more back in the day. This is for the Wii U this time around. Yeah.
It did. I remember they did some cross promotion with Shovel Knights. Yeah.
Go cunt. This looks terrible. I think it is, yeah. I can't wait. To Steam. I'll do a Christmassy one. Steam.
Yeah.
That's Christmassy. Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Looks awful. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a nope. About escaping.
Really does. No.
You never know. This could surprise. Because Ukraine is well known for its population of ninjas. He's Ukrainian. which in the current climate is entirely plausible. Button mash consumer advice for you. And our final game. 4th or 5th? Well, maybe we will experience a Christmas miracle and it will actually come out this week. We'll see. Well, it's Christmas. What do you expect? Yep. Christmas in a nutshell. Shall I outro us? Right. On behalf of everyone at Buttonmash, thank you very much for listening to our podcast. We really do appreciate it. If you want to find out more about Buttonmash, you can find us on Facebook at. You can follow us on Twitter at. You can find us present on Steam at. You can check out our new website at. Okay. It's newish. If you want to follow John's YouTube videos, you can find him on YouTube at. And there's a special Christmas gift to John if you would like to follow his Patreon series. That can be found at. Once again, this has been the Buttonmash Podcast. On behalf of myself, and on behalf of John, and on behalf of Will.
Thank you.
We would like to take this opportunity to wish you a very Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, December the 25th, or whatever the hell you're going to do on the day. And we will hopefully see you next week. Thank you very much for listening. See you next week.
Bye.